Hey, what's going on, everyone? Kurt Singh here with a Color Cup Great League Edition video. Lantern in lead, Kanto Ninetales, and Toxapex. I kind of switch out Toxapex and Kanto Ninetales based on like first say swap or endgame, depending on what the opponent does. In this first game, you'll see the opponent swapped into Atropius. So I chose to swap in my Ninetales because they were locked. But then you see there that I get taken out with the Mantine that comes back in. Anyways, this team, I would say, is almost like a cheat code or super easy mode. I went 13-2 with it so far. I had a 4-1 set, a 4-1 set, and then a 5-0 set. And I could argue that at least one of those games that I lost was my mistake. I've included, I think, most of the wins, if not all of the wins. But yeah, it's just incredible. I'm going to play more tonight after this video, but I just wanted to make the video, so I edited it, added these ones, stuff like that. So I'm just showing these particular battles. This particular battle right here that just came up, the Lantern versus Lantern, I messed up on this one. They get to the attack first. I think I overtapped a little bit there. And then I choose not to shield the next one, which might or might not be a mistake. I ended up still winning, but they're able to take me out there. And I had a move. I could have thrown the surf. I wanted to throw the surf to try to get a shield. But I switched into my Toxapex and then shield the Lantern, the Thunderbolt there. And then here they switch in Talonflame. And the Weather Ball I see doesn't do very much. So I was like, okay, keep that in mind. Gonna shield this up. Brave Bird, good shield. Over another Weather Ball, I get the shield. Farm down. Ninetales, by the way, is insane with Ember as the fast move. Generates energy really fast. Does a lot of fast move damage as well. So good game to my opponent there. I'm not 100% sure if it's just luck of the draw or you can see that one there, they gave up really fast. If it's luck of the draw or just the positioning that I have my team or what, that I can pivot. The thing that I like is if they lead grass, I can switch to Toxapex, which is still a water type Pokemon, but they're effective against the grass, right? So I'm not hard countering myself if they lead grass. I switch into my Ninetales and then they switch into Swampert or another Lantern or something like that. I'm switching into a water type, but I'm super effective, and I can live a Frenzy Plant, at least one. So I think that's part of what makes it really deadly. And in the Ferrothorn, right, like I'm not going to really want to switch into the Toxapex because I'm not going to be effective at all, right? Steel and grass against poison and water. So I can switch into the Ninetales in that situation, and then if they still have another grass in the back, my Toxapex is still effective against them. 2 waters, effective against any fires, and also both Toxapex and Lantern are good if I get stuck against the Galvantula, like you saw there. Either one of them can take them out. Lantern and Toxapex can both take a Brave Bird. So, like I said, I don't know if I just got lucky when I threw this together, or here's a good Venusaur against Lantern lead. I switch into the Toxapex. Like I say, I want to lure something else out, and sure enough, there they go. they threw the sludge bomb. I didn't shield. They switch in the lantern. I go sludge wave. They don't shield, and their lantern's now almost dead. But so here, I managed to get to the Brime last second. Gets a shield. Now I can bring him back in my lantern. And I know they still have the Venusaur in the back, right? So take that out. And then I instant swap. They have the Venusaur. I'm going to shield this up in case it's the sludge bomb again. And then in the back, they've got the Galvantula. So I go straight Weather Ball, gets the shield. And then I'm going to, shield this one. Discharge. And then I'm able to farm down and overheat the Venusaur. Overkill. Definitely did not need to overheat that, but still works. Good game to my opponent. Next battle here. Lantern and Talonflame. Good lead. They switch right away. Here I stayed and threw the Surf just to see what they would do. And then moved into my Ninetales. And again, I switched into my Ninetales because they're a grass type and electric. I mess up there. Probably should have shielded both, but I was still able to farm down and hit the overheat. Likely not to shield because they're a fire type. Does a good chunk of damage. Now I can bring Lantern back in. I've already taken out one other Pokemon, and I believe they're switch locked here, but see, Brave Bird doesn't do hardly anything. And now they have Alola Marowak against 2 water types. So, like, it's pretty much GG's at this point. But the shield dot, Surf, let the next one go. So I switched into my Toxapex simply so that they can't farm me down or Bone Club. And I was so low on health with the Lantern that I just wanted to switch. I can soak a bunch of damage with a Toxapex and just make them waste energy. And I'll shield this one, and then it's pretty much game over there. So I throw the Brime, and they're done. So we'll get into the next battle. Lantern into Jump-Off. I was like, okay, they're grass. A lot of the Jump-Offs are running air. And then I was like, oh, and Energy Ball. Okay, I'm going to throw the Thunderbolt. It lands. And then they throw, so I was like, okay, I'll shield the Energy Ball. And then we both kind of switch. Throw the Sludge Wave here. They don't shield that. That's perfect for me. I'm going to let this go. Even if it's a Hurricane, again, Toxapex is just amazing. It's ranked number 1 PvP Poke for the Color Cup in Great League. And I definitely recommend using it. So you can see there I collect some rewards. I think that was one of the 4-1 sets. Next game, Lantern into, what is that thing? Lapras. They shield the first Thunderbolt. I'm going to let this one go. It is a Skull Bash. It does about, what would that be? A little less than half. Get another Thunderbolt. They let it go. Now they're really low on health. And I think I shield this, even though it's a Surf. Just simply to either take them out or make them switch. And they switch. I've got both shields now at this point, so I go for another Surf. That does like half health or more on the Galvantula. And then I swap. There's a bit of lag there. And here I think I shield again. And they lunge me, so then I let the Discharge go, and it's a little bit more than half health again. Mad Cargo, go for the Overheat. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they caught that. I was so mad that they caught that. But again, now I have my other water type in the back with Brime, and they just give up because they know that there's nothing they can do. They've got either a fire move or a stone move. It's not going to do anything. Swampert, I know I skipped a few of these battles, just rambling on. But with Swampert, I got baited every single match. Every single match I counted, they had enough for the earthquake, so I shielded the first move. And every single time, they threw Hydro Cannon. So I'm still going to shield the first move because the time that I don't, they'll earthquake me and one-shot me. Well, it won't quite one-shot, but it would put me in a rough place. So anyways, let's try to get back in here. Go eventually against Toxapex. I'm going to let this lunge go. Hardly does any damage. I've got both their shields already. Throw a Brine. And my thought here was I'm going to come in with Ninetales, get a little bit of farm because I'm going to just incinerate down, or ember down, sorry. And then I was watching the top corner to see what they brought in. And as soon as they brought in the Swampert, I switched because I didn't want to use my shield, and I knew that they had only Hydro Cannon. They weren't going to Earthquake at that point. And then I saw that they had the Brave Bird in the back, and I was like, oh no, I just got rid of both my water types. What am I going to do here? And they throw the Brave Bird, and I shielded it. And so I'm able to overheat, and it does, as you can see, I'd say about 3/4 health, takes out the Talonflame. So good game to my opponent there. Lantern into Marowak, then they switch into their own Lantern. And here again, I should have had the energy lead because they had the Marowak. I think, again, I was just kind of tapping a little bit and got stuck. They throw, I let it go. I throw, they let it go. I managed to get to the second one first, which is good for me. They shield, and I think that I wanted to catch there. But I shield that one, farm up to the surf, and then I switch to get the next Thunderbolt. Because my thought here is, now I don't need to shield, so I'm only going to do about half health, and then I can farm down. And then in the back, they've got, what is that, the Duwong? So I I let the first one go, managed to get to a Sludge Wave again. I've got both their shields, and here I decide to bring in Ninetales because I figured 9 out of 10 times they're just spamming Icy Wind, and they're not going to see what I bring in. So I let them throw the Icy Wind on me. It's not effective. They swap. I'm able to swap. It's a Marowak in the back. I do shield the Bone Club just because. What was my thinking there? If they happened to Shadow Bone me and it took me out, then I would rather shield the Bone Club. Plus Bone Club is super effective. I don't think it would have killed, but that's why. So in comes the new fish, which was doing crazy damage, but look at the damage that Sludge Wave does. Almost one-shots it. I was shocked. I was like, wow, that's the first one I've seen as well. So now I've got my Lantern against their Toxapex. And I know Sludge Wave does what it does, close to half health, so I shield that up. Go for the Thunderbolt here. And they shield. They switch back for Trevenant. I switch into my Ninetales. I was waiting for them to switch as well. Shadow Ball. Shield that up. Now I have no shields. And I'm going to go for the overheat here. And the reason being was I figured there's no way they're going to shield fire for water and poison, so I went for the most damage that I possibly could get, planning that I still had my Lantern. Undercharge that, get the shield, and now at this point I'm just going to farm down, and good game to my opponent there. That was a close one. I was a little concerned the Sludge Wave was going to get me. So another Swampert. They farm up to 3 moves here, and here's a massive mistake. I'm like, okay, there's no way that was Earthquake. It's either going to be Dragon Claw or Aerial Ace, and they Earthquake me. It's like, okay, cool. So I switch into Toxapex, farm down. And then here, I let the Hydro Cannon go, which was a massive call. Because if you were counting, I think they threw 3 in the beginning. And then they came in and threw another 2. So they would have been to the Earthquake at that point. So letting the first one go, I think, might have won me the game. Shield the next Earthquake, throw the Brime, and then it gets the shield. So I insta-swap into my Lantern, throw the Surf, and here I do decide to shield another Earthquake, which is huge for me, because it turns out that they've got Charizard in the back. So I go Thunderbolt, boom! One-shots that, and then farm down. Good game to my opponent there. And that was a 5-0 set. So, almost through 17, I think, at this point. So, hopefully I'll hit 18, maybe start climbing through. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish the sets. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video, and good luck out there, and hope you enjoy the battle videos. See you in the next one.